if you guys seen, I have to rotate this screen back and forth until it catches it. It's like, it's crazy. It is crazy. I don't know where the shadow is right there on my face, but tilt the glasses. I never know how long it's going to take me to get on the live. And then I'm Melanie. And I never know how long it's going to take me. Hi, Cheryl. But that's the way it goes. Live chat. Getting my stuff all up here. Oh, I got it all. Hi, Mary. And Lori. And it's like Cheryl. Cutie Patooty's not here today, but I will give her hugs tomorrow for sure. It's like, we're going to start the day off. For anybody that's here now, it's like, guess what I got back in the mail today? The gang's gathering. It's like, she told me that she was going to get it shoved back in the same box that I sent it to her. And I sent it to her without batting. But she provided a vacuum seal bag last time when she sent back the quilt. Yes. Hi, Gayla. You're trying to crochet in the car? I am so excited. But you know, I didn't get the binding cut. I did not cut the binding because I wanted to see what I had left over from the 108 backing. Oops, another piece of tape. But the quilt I have ready to go back to her. Yeah, you saw the peak on Lynn's. But it's all in a vacuum seal bag. These things are always so much fun to play with. It's like, she asked how bad it comes back for wrinkles. It's like, I didn't have any problem with the last one for wrinkles. Because they fluff up after they're out for a while anyway. The back, when she was on the dark block, let's like point this down a little bit. Hi, Darlene. And she used on the dark star in the front, she used dark thread in the back, so it gives you a little different dimension. I like looking at the back also to see. I can't draw back on my same line. And it's like, I've always wanted to see the back of a quilt that's busier done. But it's like, just trying to find the other piece. Okay, now out here in the print, which we can't see very well, it's actually all feathers. It's like, see if you can see that one. Yeah, it's all feathers right here. I can't make one feather, let alone 96 inches of them. In the dark purple right here, she did those spirals. That's in the border. And in the spool, she did the ruler work to give the V's. The V's this way and this way. So now it'll get to sit around until I can trim it. And I have to trim it before I get Delaney because it'll take a whole countertop. Yeah, it's like I can't do one feather. I have to draw it out, and then I have to take my finger and help guide it. I can't just go like this and make it. It's like my hand has to be down there just like I'm pencil writing it. And then I'm thankful that that color comes off. Hi, Dorlin. Oh, let's see, I miss saying hello to, I think, everybody. Jennifer, hi. It's like, I have no baby D today. And I did join 4 together. I decided I'm doing mine all on point. But here's 4 joined together. And I have all the trimming done on this here back and forth. But I decided to go with all on point. Unfortunately, in my scraps, I have a lot of purple. So it's like, we're going to have a spot of this and a spot of that. So I'm going to make these blocks today. Oh, the back look like a giant 4-patch. There's the back. See, the back is smooth as can be. This part that'll be against your body has no rough ridge, nothing. This is still super soft. Except for if this wiggles, it might irritate you like there's something crawling on you, I would say. Because we got all these raw edges. But that's what the back looks like. Just a simple giant 4-patch. Like Gladys. So I'm just slowly going to work at these. I know I need to bring down the Christmas quilt kit up there. That's behind me. One corner of it's being held up. It's holding up a Halloween thing. Hi, Loretta. So, and to save all the time, I prep my stuff ahead of time. I cut all my 10-inch squares and my 7-inch squares. I cut them all ahead of time. That way we got more time for the demonstration part. So right now, thank you, Cheryl. It's gonna be a raggy. It's like a double rag triple. It's like got several layers of rag. Where normally the rag quilt is just 6 inches. I trim my batting, Lori. When I get it done sewn on here, I spread them back and I trim the batting down to next to nothing. And then I was playing with on here, see if I can find it. What color was it I was playing with? Is it even on here? I was playing with a needle, because if you take a needle, you can sit here and flip off and string it yourself. It's like just rubbing the pin head across, pulls those off the other direction. So it's like we can rag a lot ourselves. Hello, Miss Jennifer from Prep, miss you. Is Donnie on the wife hunt? It's like, hello, Donnie. Means Jennifer already checked in. Or did she have to change over? But here, I'll show, there. You can see where they feather out more right there. That's what they'll do in the wash. And I just been playing with pin. Oh, you're working out of town? Okay. So you catch her wherever you can catch her. She's doing housework. She says she's listening. That's what over on Kathy's. So when she just changed to a different sound background now. But I was playing with this the other night, and it doesn't take long. And if I get bored watching TV, I will sit there and scratch those. I have a little wire brush that I can do that with too. It used to be for fuzzing up yarn is what we used it for. So I centered the 7-inch square by eye. We're not going for exact. One more stitch. I took the stitch regulation down. ISO Terry. And I just eyeball up where it goes. And then you can always, before you turn your corner, you can always check to see if it's enough. It's like, I figure if I show the process again today, and then maybe once a week, the progress, I can show the progress. Because I'm not going to do the binding on the quilt on a live. This one I always go back and stitch down about a 1/2 inch. Okay, Terry. We're all working on something. But the process of the block, and then, you know, the fact that you get the seam ripper out, but it's not to rip seams. I'm going to grab, it was right here, there. I'm not going to use my expensive seam ripper. Yep, no D today. But Terry, I got to watch her take 2 steps in last night before she left. I was in fixing my dinner with Dee here, and she's in emptying my kitchen drawer. She loves throwing all my Tupperware lids. She loves throwing them everywhere. And so she was there, and I was just far enough away that she had to do a complete step. I've seen her do the 1 step, but I hadn't seen her do a 2-step. That's when I go, wow, I need a bigger kitchen. And then I took down her exercise, that jumper thing. She is a busy girl no matter what. You're always, I don't know what she's going to do this winter. She wants to go outside several times a day. Yeah. I said, I'm not going to wash them up until I need them. And then I took out any of the metal utensils that was in that drawer. Because that's my extra utensils. Or roller skates. Yeah. Okay. Here's where the 5-inch square comes from. Because I just took the seam ripper in just a 1/4 inch off. Took the scissors around. I guess I probably should put the camera down just a little bit more. Yeah, I have the serving spoons, the plastic spatulas, the thing that you do for when you brown your ground beef and you want it small. That's in there. Okay, now you're going to go to the machine. Okay, Terry. And I'm trimming this down to 4.5 because I decided all mine are going on point. Darlene is making this with me. We needed something that was a little easier than all those applique and drunkard's path. She's still putting hers together, but everything takes time. And then I pre-chose a block to go on top of this one. It's like, if this block isn't exactly, see, what is, I am off on my squareness. I don't care. Because if you make one, if you sit here and try to figure out all your spaces, and the reason I'm off on this one is because somebody didn't put her pins, so it walked. And I know it walked. But it's a scrappy quilt. It'll keep you warm. Hi, Kenneth. And how's Kenneth today? Now I'm going to sew around because I'm getting close to the bobbin being out. take the pin out this time because I can't walk now. Well, anything could probably walk on me. And then I try to do a few of these at night. Last night I was going back through. Don't even ask, Darlene. I found more fabrics, scraps. All the 108 backings from my grandkids' quilts. Every quilt I made, I think. My leftovers from 108 backings behind me has grown. Even it's like I have lots of fabric to go through again. But so my cupboard's got a little rearranged. So my method of picking squares, here's the stack. I take one from the top, the next one comes from the bottom. So that's, and then this one here, there's some here that, oh, maybe I'll put that there. I will go back and just sit them on some of these that are put together. Like on this stripe, and go that one. But it's like these just go back and forth. The smaller ones. This is a 5-inch that I had cut from the beginning. So to sandwich them, wrong side down, I'm going to take a quick press. It's like, hi Denise, maybe Scrappy back for a quilt or two? Yeah. I can't put any more 108s on that spot on the shelf. I can't put any more. It is beyond. I put this piece because I'm frankenbatting it also. And then I just take the ruler from the top of that piece down here and cut off the piece. Hi, Kathy. That one's going into the, it'll go to the garbage can. I have another bag started. I am actually saying adios amigos to some of the scraps. That's about all the Spanish you're going to get from me. Count to 10. Taco Bell. Now I take the piece that I just had here. It just sits on top. And this one needs pins because I don't want it to walk a whole lot. This deep purple is called Thistle. It's from the Wild West collection. It's like, it's on one of my quilts on my, that goes on my bed. This is on the Easter bunnies. This was just given to me. This was just given to me. I get gifted a lot of purple. I wonder why. I'm going to do the serpentine. Darlene did try another stitch on there, and I threw that piece out. And it took more time to sew it than the serpentine, and probably took more thread. So I'm going to serpentine around the little square because I have very little thread on my bobbin. I'm not going to get started on the big one. And then I will dispose of this remains. And I do 3 by 6 on the little square. That's the size on my machine. 3 by 6. Stitch length is 3 and the width is 6. And then quit before you get to the end. Try to guess where you're gonna stop. There's no good or bad. Just pick it up and move it again. It's a scrappy quilt. And then I don't like the back tacking to get my ends done. So I put the stitches through and tie a knot. So you'll see me pull out the threads. Hi, Randy. No D today. I know that's not enough to do much of anything. So it's in the garbage. Grab another one. I like these little clip-on. These come off. I don't even know what they're for. That's where I store my bobbins. So they're quick and easy to grab. Put the lid back on. Now I'm going to change it up to max, which is 4 by 7 is the max on my stitches. And then I'm going to go around the outside of this 7-inch square. And again, I guesstimate about where it is. Because this gives a bigger curve. Watching so it doesn't hit my pin that's out there. Turn. Oh no, you're riding with... You might not survive for sure now, Randy. It's like when you say something like that while you're in there, but she can't read it. I probably shouldn't have said anything, because now she knows. I'm going to flip this real fast. If you put the head of the pin to the outside, it's easier for you to grab as you're sewing. That one hand's free thing. You grab it on the old crap handle. Yeah. Hi, Carrie. It's, you can see, I forget where my scissors are. But I just tie the threads up top, tie the threads on the bottom, and then just put them back in with a needle. When I'm doing all that trimming, I have nothing else to do. So I trim and hide the threads. And then it's like, maybe I should try one, because I've made them without the stitch, without the machine, that I just took my block and waved it back and forth. Takes a little more time, but it's like, it is sure nice having it on the machine. Because I use that on, yes, strings. These are strings at this point. And Delaney did play with the thread before she left the other day. Of course she's going to play. And then like this one's one stitch beyond where I want it to be. So I'm just going to take out that one stitch, tie my knot where it's right close to each other. But I'll just hide them back in there. So that goes over to the finished pile. Till I have 4 or more, I won't sew them back together. Go back to the straight stitch. On my brother, it's number 22. And that wavy stitch is fun to sew also, because it just waves as you go. Needle down. I mean, I could do this, pull that thread up as soon as I can, and hold it out in the middle so it doesn't tangle someplace else. See, I can put them both on the back side if I want. And then there'd be less. But this is the one I overlap. So I'll try and remember to do that on that other stitch. Thank you, Andy. Dee will be back. It's like, Dee's not going nowhere. When you think about the $1,000 a month that it costs for daycare, Dee will be back. Or $750. One gal's paying $750. Or the state's paying $750. And they said if you didn't have the state assistance, it would be $750. Emily doesn't qualify because she's married. The different advantages of having a kid and not being married is you can still be with the father of the kid and get the assistance. Am I enjoying my time off? Not today. So far. I've wrestled with that thing, but I got it all in the box and the box taped shut. That's a plus. I got something jumper, Discovery something jumper. I was beginning to wonder. I even put the plastics back on it. And then one leg was missing it, so I wrapped it in tissue paper. But I found that wrapper afterwards. So now I need to, my process here. You enjoy your time alone? You don't enjoy today? I think I've already used that. No, I haven't used that on a back. But let's go destroy a, it's like Randy, purple. For some reason, I have lots of purples. If you're not a fan of purples, it's like, don't look at these quilts. I have all my time alone later, too, that we get together. Darlene, Carrie, and I usually. Yeah, you have to have purple in my house. Melinda, she informed me that when she watched one of those YouTube things of all the quilts I have, she goes, Mom, you have a lot of purple. I says, well, if people would quit gifting me all this purple would be even better. But it's like, I do have a lot of purple. But it's, you know, I just want to make sure that you guys know 10-inch square, 7-inch square. This one here is 4.5 on point. And it comes from the back of the block before. But when you're all done, you're done. When you get this sandwiched together, and then you get to this process, and then when you get all of them done here, you have the time to sew around here, sew around the quilt twice, and then go trim off your extra batting, and then trim them in, and you will have your binding done. You will have your binding done. And I don't know, it's like, if you got a quilt that you don't have the binding and you want to just use it, you could probably do a zigzag stitch around the edge and be done with it and trim it up close to the zigzag but not remove it. But it'd have to be, yeah, Jennifer, always when you go to do it, just fold your material back after you'd sewed and you just trim right off with the scissors. On the outside, I do it here also. I folded all these back before I clipped them. If I can get this block done, I'll join these two together. Because it's a scrappy quilt. It doesn't matter which way they go. There is no right or wrong. But I always trim the batting back. And I started just leaving it 10 inches because it gives me more to hold on with the tips of my fingers. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stitch this. First is 3 by 6. Number 22 is my stitch. We're going 3 by 6. Because I want to make sure that that wave gets in there. Okay, like in long arm quilting, you always pull it when you're doing this. You pull up your back thread. And you hold both threads. put the needle back in that start space, and then we back tack. I don't like back tacking. I would rather tie them off and then come back. And so I know where the strings are. They're right here in my hand, both strings. Flip them up to where they're out of the way. Easier to find after the fact. And I try to get as close as I can to where I started. One more stitch. I turned it a little to get it closer to it. So when I pull that up, if I take that one that I just pulled, cut with, if I pull it up, that bottom piece, the bottom will come right up. And I will have all 4 threads here at the same spot. Just tie, I call it the surgeon's knot. That's what I was told it's called. It's through the hole twice. I have one that's longer than the other. That's where my threads I'm battling with. And then go flip it back and do it again. And the stitch locks over itself. And then you just take your needle and hide your ends back through. But that way I don't have the back tack on. There's what the back looks like. It's not pretty, it's not perfect, but you can see the waves. And you can do just straight stitching. Just make sure to increase it a little to like 3 if you're going to do straight stitch. Now this one here, I start a 1/2 inch before where I really want it to be, because I got to fill in that corner. Oh, I didn't change the size, but that's fine. There is no quilt police. There is no quilt police. Grabbing that thread. Yeah, and when you have the dark fabrics, it really shows your stitching on the back. And on my first ones where I tried doing the back tacking, it's like it shows up a little bit more that I didn't want, but that's fine. It's like you don't have to be picky like I get. Okay, this one here, I'll get the strings out of the way because I'm heading down the highway in the last part of the journey here. And I'm going to try and get as close as I can to where that stitch started. Sometimes you might have to do a little finagling. It's like stitch up, stitch down, stitch up, stitch down, which I just did. But I want the threads to be at the same point. I just walked it back to join. I'm looking for that, which thread I need. I'll show you the back here in just a second, because it has the brighter color also to see. There's the back, there's the quilting. And yes, it's purple, but that's what the quilting looks like on the back. And this is both done in the same size. I didn't increase this one. This is the 3x6. Okay, now to show you guys the joining again, you take the backs and put them together. And it doesn't matter if your ends got off a little or not. It doesn't matter, because you're ragging. Oh, take this off of the curved stitch, and I want to increase it. No, I want to keep it at 2.5. Now I'm going to just take this off and clip it. It's like, looks like I wandered, which I did. I'm a wanderer. It's like, because I have 9 there. I guess 9 there. It can wander. But when I go to trim the batting, I just pull one side of the material down on each side of it, and you just hold it in your fingers, take your scissors, and just carefully snip back up along it. When you get to the point, just fold them down again on each side of the batting and continue your little clip. Because I don't like the batting showing. Okay. Bye, Dorlin. And if you have something little that you're going to stuff, here's these little strips that again. And then you just repeat. Now I go to the other side. I had some 9.5 batting. That's why this one's smaller. Just be careful not to clip your fabric. I haven't had any issues yet. Fold it down. And there. That gives you See, that takes and hides your batting. The next fun part is just clipping them. I always press this down with my fingers. I don't know why. Because it wants to go back up. But you just fold it this way and you start your clips. Every quarter to 5/8. You don't have to be perfect. Just don't clip into your thread from your sewing seam. And you see they're all different lengths. In the wash, when it's all done, they all just fray. They give it a kind of a chenille look. You're listening while driving? Okay. But I know you can get the replay, Jennifer. We all do. And then when I join this one on to, like if I was to join this one right now on, I just make sure I trim this, you know, if it's off a little, just trim it. It's a scrap quilt. See, I don't want to use this one because the same color is right there. But it's, and then these two. But see, if I join that together, so you can make like 2 blocks a day, get them in this form, set them aside till you get a whole bunch of 2x2s. Then you can start making the 2x4s and then add the 4x4s together. Means this one's all trimmed, snipped. I will just snip these or get the needle. My needle's right here. I made me my little, I call it the matchbook needle holder because it's just a piece of cardboard. This one's from Shabby Fabrics. And a piece of batting. You just fold your matchbook cover, find your batting that fits in it, staple it twice, and it works perfect for holding your needle. Everybody can have a needle holder. Melinda, she needed a cross-stitch needle in the car the other day, and she didn't have any needles. She has a whole sewing kit now. They went to the dollar store and purchased it. And then when I don't need the needle, I put it back into that's my needle store. I'm gonna hide all these knots real fast. I didn't turn off all my alarms. My phone died during the night, and somebody overslept big time today. But they say, get the rest when you can. But I use a bigger eyed needle. But I just lay it over the needle, put it between my fingers, push it down on, and that's how I thread my needles. But when I'm putting it in here, I can feel that I'm going through the batting. It just helps secure it a little more. Put that back on there. Pull all these threads up snug. Sometimes they'll do a pop back through all the fabric, and that guarantees your knots underneath. Okay. Looking on one more on this corner. Just put it through, and I can weave it through the batting. Just something else to help grab it. Flip it to the back side. Here's two. Because on one I showed you how to pull them through to one side. And the other one was just 2 threads off of each. Each side I just left alone. It's like I knew my scissors was here somewhere. This is all 4 at once. Again, over the needle, pinch between my fingers, put the eye of the needle down over, and grab them. Had a little pop. That's the last one on this, so just weave the needle back in, close the back matchbook, put it back in the drawer. That way I always have a needle handy. There's the 2 blocks we did today. This one's all trimmed. There's the back. All the threads are hidden. And there's one to trim. Don't know where that one come from. But, oh, I didn't hide one more set. But the needle's not that far away, so grab it and do it now. So, anybody doing the jelly roll race this weekend? I'm just sewing with friends. That's all I'm going to do. It doesn't have to be a jelly roll thing. It just work on your projects. Don't start a new one. Just work on your projects that you have already going. Because that jelly roll will be there later. Mine, I am going to work on. They kind of look alike. I could probably adjust the size down and have the centers come out a little bit different. But it's just the way it is. Cheryl started on another project. I know that. By Gladys. And today's Thursday, so Susan's on several hours from now. See, 7 o'clock her time is what, 4 o'clock my time? So in about 3 hours is Shady Susan. But I can take this out and clip it, or I can save it and do it another, yes, disappearing 9 patch. And what I'm doing is on the corners, I'm cutting in at the angle. And then go in over just a little bit. As many things as I have cut with these scissors, I'm amazed that they cut as good as they do. They're just stainless steel made in Korea. And I love the disappearing 9 patch for using up that. My first big quilt that I sold was the disappearing 9 patch out of 10-inch layer cakes. That was my first quilt I sold. I sold 3 quilts in less than a year. And it'll probably never happen again, but that isn't what I make the quilts for. She's seen the disappearing 9 patch over on, when I was up on Rita's. And then she found me on Facebook and messengered me. She says, I was serious. I want to buy that quilt. And she did. And she sends me pictures of saying how much she has enjoyed the quilt. It's her summer quilt. She bought one from the Amish and one from me. So am I privileged that I got rankings with, she likes it with the Amish? But that's her summer quilt. The gentleman, he requested, not knowing anything about my quilting, he requested one. He just didn't want flowers. So that's the Hunter Star I did with the leaves. I still have fabric of that left. You go back and you see where you've trimmed and haven't trimmed. Because I think I've trimmed some of this each time on the show. On the demonstration here. Yeah, if you want to sit there and pick every thread off up to that state, you can do that too. But that isn't what I want to do. But I want to thank everybody for joining me today. You don't need to watch me trim these things. It's like, I'm glad to spend this time with friends and they quilt while they listen. Like Terry's working on her thing. Don't know if it'll be the next YouTube that we get to watch of hers or... Okay. She has her bus duty. But I'll be back on Tuesday. And we'll go from there. Tilt the glasses. I put them down so I could see better. It's like, then tilt them for the up screen. But see you guys on Tuesday. If not before, happy sewing. Bye, everybody.